What's going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with an exciting Dark Dimension 6 update for you all. So I am nearing actually the completion of 5 characters I'm planning to bring in to start Dark Dimension 6, but I figure I'd give you guys an update and as well kind of where I'm standing right now in the game and with respect to the game plan, why I chose these starting 5 characters. So, having said that, as a reminder, guys, I am 100% free to play. So this is my reference here in terms of my collection power, as well as my best 5 characters in the game here. And yeah, like I said, 23.3 million. The days played, it's pretty much 3.5 years I've been playing for this game. So you go to achievements, you still get that nice little track record here. 1284 logged in. So that's pretty much how active I've been. But again, just been really capitalizing on the resource management in this game and not using gold when I need to, but really being smart with my investments and even building up to the unlock of Apocalypse. And that's actually going to be segueing to my conversation later on whether or not he's going to be part of that. But overall, feeling pretty good. I think my starting 5 characters are well balanced. And remember, guys, when you are doing Dark Dimension 6, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So you really want to be kind of aiming for entering this sooner in terms of the nodes that you're going to be facing, right? So for example, you don't want to be building any legendary characters before you start, just because of the fact that you're only going to be able to utilize them for the first 2 nodes, and then following that is going to be the global section and cosmic. So that's kind of where the focus of my planning went into. However, keep in mind too, Dark Dimension 6 is not everything. If you guys have a preference to want to unlock the larger and more powerful Apocalypse that's done through the Apocalypse Saga here, by all means, it's really just kind of your playstyle and what you want to prioritize in the game. For myself personally, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of materials from Dark Dimension, even going through the nodes, and that's going to ultimately help me towards Apocalypse. I just don't have the gear to get 23 characters. Obviously the gear tier is 17. I think Dark Dimension 6 is definitely more viable for myself, but again, that's kind of what I'm prioritizing. Having said that, guys, let me get right into it then. My 5 characters that I am planning to bring in is a combination of actually global and cosmic characters, and more specifically, it's going to be Spider-Weaver, Captain America, Black Widow, Nemesis, as well as Kang the Conqueror. So that's my starting 5. I have Apocalypse hearted here because there is going to be an off chance where potentially, if I do have enough materials by the time I'm kind of working through the global nodes, I may be able to bring him in. It's close based on my gear management right now, but he's just not a lock because of the fact that he requires so much materials really just to bring him up, and especially with him being heavily invested in the materials, as well as needing to, he just isn't the full Apocalypse as well, having not unlocked his full capabilities, his special and ultimate where there is another level upgrade. He's not going to have as much power, and that's kind of why I'm putting him more on the back pedal. And again, folks have commented on this before too, so I appreciate the feedback. But let me walk you through why I'm planning to bring in these 5 characters, being Weaver, CA, Black Widow, Nemesis, and Kang. First and foremost, if you notice, they're really a good diversity of resources, right? They're a combination of utilizing the different traits. So you really want to focus again on separating bio, mutant, mystic, skill, and as well as tech characters. It's going to allow you to kind of manage your resources better. On top of that as well, we want to be mindful of the fact that we want to make sure that we're also utilizing gear constraints strategically, as well as what's kind of segregated into global and cosmic, which is the focus of pretty much the first couple of sections in the Dark Dimension 6, right? So out of these 5 characters that I've highlighted, the only cosmic character is Kang. So he's going to be providing value for me in the first 2 nodes, but after that tails off and is completed, I'll be entering the global, and by that point, I'll make a decision on Apocalypse or another global character that I'm planning to bring in. But Kang is going to add a lot of value just because he's tech and he's in the meta, and he's a really powerful character that can add a lot of value outside of Dark Dimension 6. So pretty much a great investment all around. But that's not to say, he provides benefits for the team, speed increases, and so forth. You also want to be thinking about the dynamic of the 5 characters that you're utilizing. So from that respect, I mean, is there enough defense up going around? Is there cleanse? Is there healing? Is there crowd controlling aspects? With these 5 characters, I think I found a pretty good balance of all those aspects. For example, with the crowd controlling aspect, we're going to have Spider Weaver being able to generate charges to protect the team. She's got Threads of Fate ultimate stun here, and she's a really great self-sustaining character. Unfortunately with her, she needs energy, right? And that's kind of why I was thinking about Captain America. Not only can he provide defense up, but he can generate energy and can also strip positive buffs from the enemies. And I like the fact that he is going to have some synergy with Black Widow as well. But back to the Spider Weaver here, I also love the fact that her special actually allows her to gain defense up. So if it's a standalone character, she's really, really good. And she can also generate one charge as a result of this. I like her special because of the fact as well, she can also heal random allies for 10%. So having a high red on her is really going to make sense, and it's going to provide the most value for the team. She's going to be an all-around great character, just given her kit and utility. I already touched on Captain America already with his defense up, his energy generation, cleansing of negatives, his synergy with Black Widow, but as well, even his basic ability being able to apply offense down and being able to chain, it's going to protect us a little bit, right? Offense down is pretty much the equivalent of defense up. If it's not on our team, it's going to be on the enemies, unless they have very high resistance, of course. But I mean, overall, he's going to be a great character in terms of providing value and support for the team. And if he goes down, it is, thankfully his abilities are low cooldown, so we can reset easily. And his special and ultimate being 3 energy costs, it's really, really efficient for our team to run multiple attempts and so forth. Black Widow, synergy with Captain America. The fact that she actually has a special that has a chance to even give speed up to the rest of the team, not just fellow Shield, Avengers, skilled military allies. I think that's going to provide value there. I love the fact that she also has a cleanse for herself, so I'm not too worried about her. With the recent rework, she is a much better character than before. And what's more notable is the fact that she's a skill character in global that's cheap for resources, as well as having crowd controlling aspects with her stun. And then this stun also has bleed that she can actually transfer over to adjacent targets. I think it's just a really nice balance of aspects here in terms of the debuffs on the enemies, support for the team, as well as having a handy and timely stun if need be. To top things up, her basic ability, if you guys aren't aware, also has the opportunity to copy and clear positive effects. So it's almost kind of like a strip where when she is in stealth, she's able to copy and cleanse it and take it away from the enemy. So as long as they don't have some sort of safeguard or kind of immunity guard, I think that's really, really awesome to have. And again, that stun is always going to be really much appreciated when we're managing wave after wave and these tough enemies. Nemesis. I really like what he brings to the table because of the fact that he is just a healing juggernaut, especially if you guys have utilized him in Death Seed. So you already probably have him built up already, so this is going to be a lot of great value add for not just the Death Seed team being involved in raids, but as well him being a viable Dark Dimension 6 option. Unfortunately with him though, his ultimate ability, which is very, very potent, does cost 5 energy, but it applies slow. All of his abilities bypass heal block, so it's not going to be a concern if we do have heal block on our team, because he's still going to be able to heal as well as being able to apply bleed as well. So dealing lots of damage. The striker is going to allow him to actually be able to have an additional strike with his basic ability here, and as you can see, also healing and stealing 5 HP. His abilities are going to hit really hard in Dark Dimension because each of his abilities scale with the HP of the enemy, which means especially with these enemies having larger massive HP pools, it's going to translate to a lot of really good heals for our team. And same with the special, stealing 10% from each target and redistributing. It pretty much is going to be a full-on heal, or sizable enough, because of the fact that these enemies we're up against have such massive HP pools. Unfortunately, he does lose some value from not being next to Death Seed, but both his special and his ultimate having HP regenerative capabilities is going to help our team in terms of sustaining, especially when we have Spider Weaver as well, having that small slight heal. And then lastly, like I said, he also does have some passive things going on here, like lowering the 30% armor for enemies with bleed. So it's going to combo attack with his ultimate ability, which allows us to really deal more damage. But this synergy with the rest of the team does really make a lot of sense. And given, like I said, his energy constraints is going to be supplemented to Captain America and his defense up. And then lastly, Kang. I think he just really rounds everybody up with the damage input, but as well, let's talk about his passive. On spawn even, he's gonna be able to fill up the speed bar for his team, which is absolutely huge. And on each of his turns, he's attacking enemies with piercing and stealing HP and redistributing to himself. So really good character overall. He loses a lot of value from Crucible, but this character is just such a juggernaut, and he can bring a lot to the team in terms of what he brings. For example, he doesn't have any crowd controlling aspects, but his special and ultimate are very powerful abilities. His special, applying slow, again, is going to help the team. He also applies defense up for himself and all allies. I think that's just a nice value add, considering he's a offensively focused character, and as well being able to cleanse barrier too. So let's not forget that any enemies that have that barrier, it's going to just get shredded right away. His ultimate is kind of what I'm hoping to get off. Unfortunately, kind of similar to what we've seen with the other allies, is that some of these abilities are just really high costing, but he's going to be able to cleanse barrier again, clearing death proof, applying defense down super notably, attacking all enemies for piercing and cleansing and clearing positive effects, which is probably the case when we see a lot of these enemies having synergies, and as well on top of that, reducing speed bar. This attack's also unavoidable and cannot be blocked, and we do have that chance where we kill a character, they cannot be revived as well if there's any kind of reviving characters that we're up against. So I think all in all, just a super powerful character that he's pretty much a lock, and I love the fact that he's tech, so it doesn't touch on any of the other traits and materials that we need as a constraint. And that pretty much in a nutshell is my starting five, guys. I think this is a really well balanced, a good mix of healing, like I said, crowd controlling aspects, supportive capabilities with defense up, energy regen. And again, they're not all leveled up just yet, but I'm slowly getting them there and trying to take advantage of the golden opportunity milestones while I'm at it. But I'll keep you guys up to date once I start. Officially, my days locked in, as well as my progress attempts. And obviously, it's going to be super exciting just to see how this team does. But as well, I want to bring for you guys, if there's a value team, I think this is it. Hopefully, it works as intended as we plan this out, right? And again, Apocalypse, he's pretty much the X factor. If I can get him in later for the global, it would be great, but he's just such a high cost, as well as not having him fully unlocked is definitely a bottleneck for sure. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if this is a team that you've been eyeing or you've been working on, if my team is similar. I'm curious to hear back from you guys if you see any kind of things I've missed in my analysis. But I think these are really, really good characters that can synergize together, and the good news is they do seem to have value outside of just Dark Dimension 6, so we can utilize them for other aspects of the game if need be, so it's not a sunk investment. Thank you as always. Do appreciate you guys checking my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.